Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead tarot. Thank you so much for being here. Your key to the week this week is the Chariot card. This is going to be a fast, dynamic week. It's probably going to be one that brings you some things that you don't see coming. I kind of get this feeling. So with the Chariot card, you've heard me say this before. If you've been with me long enough, sometimes it's a message or a heads up to slow down, because sometimes what happens with the Chariot is if you go too fast, you meet the Tower. This week, I do feel like you're getting a Tower moment, but it's not like the awful Tower moments where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my life's ended. It's not that. There is going to be something that happens this week that really surprises you or takes you by surprise. And I kind of feel like it is going to be really good, but it will be really shocking. So this could be, maybe somebody, maybe the boss comes to you and says, we're promoting you, just out of the blue. This could be where somebody walks out and you therefore walk into a position that you're not necessarily not qualified for, but you didn't expect to have. It could be where somebody divulges their undying love for you. It's just going to be something that you kind of go, okay, this is happening. And it's almost like you're just going to have to roll with it when it happens. This is going to be a fast, dynamic week, one that's probably going to have a lot of twists and turns. And by the time it's done, I think you are going to be pleasantly surprised. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Judgment card. Okay, so I said change was coming, right? And the Judgment card is a card of massive change. You add to this then the Chariot card. For some of you, this could be spontaneous travel that comes up. It's very possible. For others, this likely does suggest something that you have waited for, something that you maybe have wanted for a very long time, as in right back into your history, could now show signs of becoming possible. You've got this in your actions and options. So this is about what you do, which means that some action that you take this week is going to be a very big change. It's a very big diversion from a path that maybe you had mapped out. And this is coming because you're going to respond to life, right? Ultimately, all we can ever do is respond to what takes place around us or to us. The fact that you have this with the Chariot card, it's happening quick, or maybe something that you initiate is bringing much faster results than you had thought would be possible. Nice, really nice. For your communications and conversations, you have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, usually a fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, especially as a communications card. Communication isn't just going to be fast and dynamic this week. It's going to take on a feistiness. This could be where you're having to argue something out. Maybe you're having to puzzle something out. It could be where you're having to have hard conversations, but you're having to do it in a way where you are speaking up, right? Where you're really owning your space, or where you are sort of not allowing yourself to be pushed around in any way. Now, you've got this here with the actions and options, and the feeling that I get from this, it's like for some of you, while you're doing this whole sort of like, I will not be told, I'm not going to back down kind of thing, you also in the background have a situation going on, potentially with a partner, but potentially with a collaborator of some sort. So it's really interesting to see how this is showing up. If you are studying or if you're in some form of academia, there is a feeling here that you might sort of decide that this week, you know what, I'm taking a break. It's like you pull yourself out of one thing so that you can focus on a different area of your life. It may be that a situation arises in some part of your life this week and you choose, rather than to focus on that, because it's like, well, I can't do anything with this, but I can do something with this. It's like you're not sort of doing the whole Piscean escapism thing, but you are rediverting your energies and your thoughts this week towards things that actually feel much more aligned with you at this moment in time. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, there is a solid There is a solid chance this week that you are, so if you've been working in a temporary capacity, there's a solid chance that you could be made permanent this week. There is also a solid chance that your workload is very likely to increase this week. And there is also the likelihood that someone from or through your work is maybe saying to you, like, you know what, I kind of like you, or you know what, maybe we can, do you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, it's just an odd situation. For those of you that are self-employed business owners, entrepreneurs, etc., again, right, especially because you've got this Judgment card here, this is you bringing some old product, old service back into the fold, but it's almost like it's happening. It's not happening because you want it to, it's happening because the demand for it suddenly shows up. So you might think, well, you know, I haven't sold that product for years, nobody wanted it when I put it out, and all of a sudden people are asking you left, right and centre, oh, you know, do you do this, or have you got this? And you're like, okay, well, yeah, I've got it. It's just kind of sat on a shelf. This is a time for you to bring that back into the fold. If you are self-employed or a business owner, this may also be a time where you start to really think long and hard about rebranding yourself or your business in some way, shape or form. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this will see you interacting with somebody from your childhood years. It's probably going to be from around, I would say, like middle school, so anywhere from sort of like 12 to 19, in that sort of like bracket. It's like somebody that you interacted with for a long, you know, back, like far back in your past. It's like you could run into them maybe in a really surprising way or in a surprising place. This is happening for all of you as well in some way, shape or form, and it could be in like some really obscure place where you're like, what are you doing here? You live like, I don't know, hundreds of miles away or halfway across the world, and I'm bumping into you here of all places. So it'll be interesting. For your love and relations, you have the Tower card. Okay, well, I guess I asked for that. So what did I say to you earlier, right? If sometimes with the Chariot card, if you go too fast, you will meet the Tower. Now, for those of you that are single, I do feel that this week a friend, a co-worker, maybe somebody that you hadn't even thought of in that way, suddenly divulges, look, you know what, I'd really like to go on a date with you, I'd really like to take you for coffee. You might not be interested, and that's fine, you just have to say so, but I wouldn't be surprised if when this happens you are surprised at who it is. It could be like literally somebody that's been in your midst for, you know, maybe you see them every day and you've just never even thought about it, and then all of a sudden they're asking, you know, for a date. Do you know what I mean? So this could be really interesting. You've got this right underneath the Judgment card. The Judgment card itself does represent change, and usually big change at that. You add to this the Tower, which for some of you, this could literally be a blast from the past in the relationship sector as well. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, there is a chance here. It's not necessarily that it's a split, but it does suggest that the relationship may, it's not guaranteed, but it does suggest that the relationship may hit a snag this week. And, you know, if you ask me, I'm a big believer in cycles and patterns and, you know, things showing up when they're supposed to, and synchronicities and stuff. And so it's interesting to me, and I'm not condoning leaving one relationship and jumping into another, but it's interesting to me that some of you look like you're hitting a snag in a relationship this week, and somebody else is potentially showing up. I mean, mostly this is for those of you that are single. For a select few of you, another person may end up entering the picture at the same time. I'm not saying any more on that front. For your money and materials, you have the World card. I like the World for money because it suggests that you're raising your prices, especially if you're rebranding and remodeling your business, how you present yourself to the world, the things that you offer, your products, your services, etc. So you are making more money this week potentially, and the World card with the Judgment card, that's usually like a big ending or a break in a connection with a community or a place that you live in. So your home could be changing for a lot of you. This might be a week that sets something into motion where you kind of say to yourself, you know what, I think I'm ready to move. I think I'm ready to change the place that I live in. Or if that's not the case, or it's not practical, this could literally see you saying, okay, you know what I am ready for right now is to not become more of a part of your community, but to be more interactive with your community, to spend more time connecting, like you're becoming more of a prominent figure in your location, in your locality. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the World card is your bones and your teeth. These are things, I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice. These are the things that I would probably look after and out for more than any other over the course of this week. It's going to be an interesting one, and I really want to hear from you guys in the comments. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great week. It looks like you will, but it also looks like it's going to have some interesting moments about it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.